Building trust in ourselves, especially when it comes to relationships, is something that we all face. When you don't trust yourself, things that should be simple or straightforward become difficult and extremely stressful. Think about procrastination, for example. We often put things off because we're afraid we won't be able to handle the stress or maybe the difficulty of the task at hand. Maybe we're worried about what people will think if the outcome isn't perfect. But if we trusted ourselves, if we believed we could handle whatever came our way, we wouldn't need to procrastinate. We'd just get on with it, knowing we could manage the stress and any challenges that arise, and we're happy with the product, the finished outcome that we would get. Another example is overworking. Many of us push ourselves too hard because we don't trust ourselves to handle tomorrow's work or to be satisfied with what we've done today. We keep going, thinking that if we just clear our to-do list, we'll find peace. But that peace never really comes. The reality is, if we trusted ourselves, we could stop working when the day is done, knowing we've had enough, knowing we've done enough and can handle what comes tomorrow. Social media is another area where self-trust comes into play. We might find ourselves consistently checking our phones because we're afraid of missing out or because we're avoiding more challenging tasks. But if we trusted ourselves, we wouldn't need that consistent reassurance. We could focus on what's important, knowing that we're not missing anything crucial or that we can deal with whatever we find when we do check in. And then there's exercise. Many of us avoid it completely, not because we don't want to be healthy, but because we fear the discomfort or worried we don't have time for everything else. But if we trusted ourselves, we'd embrace the challenge, knowing that we can get our work done and still take care of our bodies. Feeling overwhelmed is another common experience. It happens when we don't trust ourselves to handle everything that's on our plate. But with more self-trust, we can take things one step at a time, knowing that we can manage whatever comes up, one task after another. These examples show that a lack of self-trust underlies many of our struggles. So the question really is, how do we develop this trust? First, let's look at what life looks like when we do trust ourselves. When we have that trust, everything becomes easier. We're more willing to step out of our comfort zones, to take risks, or to go after what we truly want. We can make decisions from the heart, knowing that it's okay to trust what we want. We don't get stuck in fear or doubt because we believe we can handle whatever comes our way. With full trust in ourselves, we can start each day by choosing what's most important to us and focusing on those priorities without having so many distractions get in the way. We don't get lost in the sea of tasks because we trust that we're going to get things done no matter what. We trust that we'll get to what matters most, one thing at a time. We can handle difficult situations like disappointing someone or dealing with our own tough emotions because we know we have the resilience to get through it. Even when things get overwhelming, we can stay calm and focused, trusting that we can tackle things one by one, and we're more likely to take care of ourselves, whether it's just through exercise, meditation, or just giving ourselves a break, because we trust that we are taking care of ourselves, and that's just as important as getting things done. In relationships, this trust helps us have those difficult conversations that we might otherwise want to avoid. It makes us less reactive to what others do because we're confident in our ability to navigate a situation. This improves our relationship and reduces our stress. So how do we get there to having more trust? It starts really with just practice. We can't just snap our fingers and suddenly trust ourselves completely, but we can start small and build that trust and resilience over time. Let's say you struggle with procrastination. Start by picking one task and just working on it for 2 minutes. You don't need to finish it, just start. With practice, you can gradually extend that time. The point is to demonstrate to yourself that you can take action, you can handle it, and you can pull through even if it's just a little bit at a time. If you're overwhelmed, try making a list of tasks and picking just one to focus on. Trust yourself to handle that task, and remind yourself that others will still be there when you're done. This helps you build confidence in your ability to manage your workload. For those who find themselves addicted to social media or other distractions, challenge yourself to take a break for a few hours within the day. It might be uncomfortable at first, but trust that you can deal with that discomfort in healthier ways, like going for a walk or talking to a friend. And if you've been avoiding difficult conversations, start by reaching out for a simple chat. Don't overthink it. Just trust yourself to handle whatever comes up. The more you do this, the more that you'll see that you can navigate these situations without needing everything to be perfect. Building self-trust is a lifelong journey, something that I'm still working through, I'm still developing in, and I'm still wanting to get better. It's about consistency and really continuous practice in those areas that you feel uncertain, and gradually expanding that trust into other parts of your life. Rinse and repeat this routine with many areas of your life, and you get to a place to where you're going to be able to be more happy with the self-trust that you've developed and your ability to navigate difficult situations, be less stressed, and live a happier, more enjoyable life.